Hello, welcome to the 14th video in the series on UGC Net and particular topics from current affairs and English literature, and as they relate to what's going on in other disciplines. It's an interdisciplinary approach that I'm taking to English literature, and ultimately you'll realize these things when you go through academia, how the trends have been for subject, and you have things like people from humanities claiming that they can prove things scientifically and so on and so forth. But the thing is, there's the difference. There is the math, and there's the irrational. Okay, I'll put that on. Yeah, so online notepad, because consent to everything. Yeah. So today's date is 30th January. Friday, and English literature 14 research projects in English literature. Continue. Or yeah, so AI and research is what I talked about yesterday, and today I'm looking at more projects in English literature. I said that there's this math and there's the irrational. So let's start off by looking at what the irrational is. File name, some name.txt. Great. It got downloaded to my computer, which is great. And you can see how it works. It's downloading here. Maybe possibly it's storing in a database and something like that. It's definitely storing in temporary memory. That's the browser's memory. Yeah. So let's not Chrome and Firefox. Yeah. So memory access through JavaScript for storing session information. Here it is, and you can find out more here. Okay, that's what I was telling you. Here in our case, it's downloaded to our computer, to our machine, my machine. Also, it simply saves the last read copy when I click the save button there, icon button, whatever you call it. So if I open this file, I won't have save as file name, right? It'll save only what is present at this moment. So that's how computers work. It's very easy to some name .txt. That's how it will get saved. It gets saved with a number, right? Because it's a copy. So anyway, that's how you observe, infer, and so on, and that's write own notepad like nano. Write own notepad in C. Build a notepad with notepad clone with Firefox with Windows Forms C. Okay, that's Windows Forms, that's C#, or in Python, whatever it is. So this is something I suggested in another video. So the video is web design. No. Yeah. So you will learn all of these things when you develop software. So it's not something that you don't know about. Some name.txt. Great. Yeah. So English literature research projects. So let's put it like this. And I've always, already told you about, for example, analog hole. It's a previous video in the series, and you should know this. So what I'm doing here is I'm using what I came up with in the first place, and once you have something with you, you can copy it and use it. And there's where there's where you have things like intellectual property and so forth. So I won't use AI just yet. There are very particular uses I can make and make them very well. I don't want to get into those things. I don't need to, because I can share code with you that is there, which shows you that I don't need to use AI. And you've been looking at these videos, these 13, 14 videos now. So yeah, you can see research projects, Oxford, USA, and then research projects, Department of English Literature Writing. Yeah, so region. Even if it's any region, it is giving me results from universities in the UK. Let's check for all of them. York, Manchester, Edinburgh, Hertfordshire, Newcastle, Birmingham, Open University, English Language Literature Research Projects, Ulster, Ruskin, Anglia Ruskin. Yeah, my apologies, Anglia Ruskin. York again, Portsmouth. That must be US. That's what I came across yesterday. All sites with all domains belonging to universities, or used by universities. No, this is I don't want to get into this, but this is a recent development where you have unrestricted use of any words that you want to use for your domain, and I'm not getting to that. So list of top level domains, and .com, .org, .net, .int, international, .edu is educational. This is America, of course. All of this .mil, .gov, this is all America, and that is because that's where it started. So ARPA, that's different. ARPANET, I've already mentioned this before. Chinese, French, German by country. Hindi, yeah, that's, I don't know why they're, yeah, but Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, Arabic, Chinese. So that's in a different script altogether. You can see that. Japanese, other script. Geographic, Africa, Asia, Europe. .eu, yes. No, no, there's nothing called. Sorry. .eu. Okay, there's nothing called that. .eu. Anyway, Spain, EU. That's, yeah, I was right. .eu, right? So that's Welsh, CMRU, CYMRU, right? North America, Oceania, South America, so many things. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to this. I want to find out, for example, tools, advanced search, research projects in English literature. Let's see. I want to limit it to English. I want to make it United States. just for a change. Okay, for a change, I want to make it United States, and last updated in the year, let's say. Cited domain, I'm not going into that. Anyway, in the page, in title of the page, in text of the page, in URL of the page, in links to the page. So yeah, anyway, in the page, any format, you can choose that as well. I'm not disturbing those things. So not filtered by license. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm not changing those things. Tufts. Tufts, I've already mentioned. Tufts is, I mean, I know about Tufts because of that project, Perseus Digital, or CS. This is why I know about. This is why I recognize the name in the first place. And top research papers on English literature.ai. So you don't want to look at such a thing. Literature Research Network. What is it about? Doesn't say anything about it. Okay, fine. So all you need to do this. I think this is not about English literature in particular. That's why this is RN is what. Early stage research and preprints, and this is social science research network. So nothing about English literature. Let's get back to what we were doing. Assignment you need 100 plus best English research topics for college students. Literary research in Harvard libraries. This is what you want to look at. And recent publications, Yale. This is what you want to look at. NIU, NYU libraries, the research guides, English and American literature, digital collections, then literary digital projects, literary and literature and digital humanities. And I've already mentioned digital humanities, right? So digital humanities, MSc. You saw that the other day. If you search that, you will. So digital, we are talking about digital humanities because the way it is changing, because they're taking over, kind of, allow me to use the phrase, they're taking over everything that belongs to the arts. I mean, I could have said that before. I'm saying that now. I could have said this before. I'm saying this now. Again, I'm using Katafara. You have seen in Schindler's list where two characters talk about the the relevance of arts, etc. See, this is where AI can be of use to you. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere, and that is where AI can be of use to you. NL is Netherlands, I think. Yes. So Yeah, 3 pages. I can't find it, and you don't need it. I can actually show you something. So get Google Scholar results with Python. How to scrape Google Scholars with Python, Oxy Labs, and generally what happens is you have to pay for these things, and that is a resource that you want to use very wisely. Okay, what happens is if you're going for paid proxies for scraping, that is where, I mean, you have to budget. That is, I mean, you can't just because free proxies, they're detected, and the requests you make from your scripts, Python script, they get rejected. That's one. The 11 best proxy servers, 11 best proxies for web scraping, 2025 guides, which is recent enough. Scraper API, Oxy Labs, Bright Data, Proxy Empire, WebShare, Proxy Rack. Again, you'll have to pay for these things. So scrape websites with proxy free. It says updated every 5 minutes. So that's again what happens is when you make pertinent requests, the server or servers, they reject you, and you're left with. So, for example, I came across this AI crawler GitHub scraper crawl for AI. Yeah, this is the one I'd like to share with you. I came across this months ago, and if you can run this thing, you will be able to get a lot out of. Let's see if it's working. I think I should have it installed on my computer. We'll have to wait for it. So till then, the point is that you want to use it's using AI or whatever it is to crawl to get information from a website. Free for proxies for web scraping, things like that. So anyway, when you're talking about computers, when you're talking about computer science, Python programming, digital projects, digital humanities, you're looking at these and things, and of course, there's a crossover, and there's so much to yes. So yeah, this is what I got from there. So yeah, so it worked. Obviously, this means it worked, right? And I11 is not supported for okay, whatever it is, skip to content. You got this information from there. Okay, so that's one website. I can try other websites. So for example, I'll I'll just use my own website to avoid. Yeah, so whatever there is on this page, it's extracted and printed here. You can see it's just the text, and of course there's something. There's beautiful soup docs, and I've already mentioned Selenium. So point being, this thing, this crawl for AI does all of these things for you in the background, and you'd have to do have to write code or bring these things together or do any of the hard work that's required to actually get it done. Again, download files with Python crawl for AI. Here it is. This guide explains how to use crawl for AI to handle file downloads using crawling. You'll learn how to trigger downloads, specify download locations, and access downloaded files. Again, it is reading. You'll have to read all of this, and if you want to come up with something custom, if you want to integrate this into your own code base, if I would use that vocabulary, yeah. If you want to integrate this with your own project, you'll have to read these things and try some number of times at least to be able to see if this works for you. I'll just copy this one. I don't want to. Yeah, so you can just. This is how yeah, this is JavaScript. This is JavaScript. Okay, this code is in JavaScript as it says here, JS code. So download multiple files, browser config, async web crawler. Yeah, browser config is settings you make to make your browser behave in a certain way. So here you can see accept downloads, and I've already given you an example. Here it is about config. This is what it's changing. Okay, accept and continue the risk, and accept risk and continue and so on. And you have this there. Okay, so I want to download everything that there is on this page that I've shown you. So let's run it. Now the thing is, it's a big file. Download path. Just a moment. Yeah, so it's to do with all you have to do is you simply okay. It doesn't seem like I'm gonna find it anytime soon. So you'll have to have this defined, and you'll have to import it, and I don't know. I don't know where it is located. That's what I'm saying. You'll have to read this, okay? I'm just It's just a guess. No files downloaded. Did not work. Image update image dimension if needed. For some reason, it did not work. Yeah. So that's what's involved. Okay, that's what's involved. If you're getting into programming or things like that, this is not digital humanities. Again, this is core programming. But what's happening is it's a type conflict, so you can't use this method on this type data type. So it's a number, and you cannot strip is for strings. So strip does what it does is remove spaces from both the ends, left and right, and so on. So there's L strip and R strip, and that's what strip is. And this is for later, but that is the idea. Okay, I'll download everything, see if the actual thing, yeah, no, not the actual thing, this worked, this worked, right? And I changed the website. I can revert to the website that's there. Even then it won't work because this is something internal. Okay, even this will not work because this is something to do with how the machine is configured. Yes, exactly. So this is not my fault, which is why I can simply proceed to what we were discussing. Okay, at least it's not me who's at fault here. Yeah. So anyway, I'll have to look it up. I'll definitely try to run the thing and discuss it with in some later video. But as I was saying, so that's where AI can be handy. I already looked at 3 pages. I don't want to be wasting more time, but let's go again. I don't use AI. It's not my. I mean, no, this is not what I wanted. AI did not help either. As you can see, AI did not help either. Okay, which is good because I said I don't use AI. So anyway, you see how arguments work. Anyway, so some name dot text. Anyway, Digital Humanities, MPhil Digital Humanities, Department of Digital Humanities, MSc. This is what I was saying the other day. Digital Humanities and then MSc. So that's what we're looking at today in 2026, and this has been going on for quite some time. You could talk about things like funding in the UK over the centuries, parliamentary debates. I'm deliberately keeping it broad. I'm not saying funding for what purposes. For example, so the financial revolution through these average, yeah, it would be a good read. That's what I raising money for war, commission of public accounts, civil list. Yeah, if you wanted, you could find out. Okay, political parties funding, money creation society, Hansard. This would be of use for research on such a topic. Okay, this would be of real use. So, um, this one. What I would do is you have it from ProQuest, you have it from Penn State, you have it from Cambridge, you have it from Minnesota, and so on. Now, one day I was searching for libraries books where those books are, and I came across. So that's what you do. It's not getting me what I wanted, but by way of searching this, I'm showing to you a new resource. Okay, So that's all the libraries in the UK. That's all the libraries in the UK. ProQuest. Okay. Irish University Press. You can see there you have University of Hertfordshire, Leicester, Manchester, Scotland, St Andrews, Senate House. Great. So I don't see Oxford here because that's from 1800 to 2000, right? Yeah. So Aberystwyth, and then East Anglia, Manchester, Scotland, Reading, Science Museum, Library. I don't know where that is. Trinity, University of Wales. Okay. Hansard's Catalogue. So when you're researching, getting back to this, when you're researching, this will be a kind of nickname for you, or not nickname. That's not the right word, but yes, household name or something like it. It's kind of very familiar name for you, and you will be using it casually. Like I would say mm, Hobson Jobson. So Hansard's Catalogue. That would be something of a household name for you. I don't know this, so I will be using it in a way that you use a new name. But Hansard, UK Parliament official report of all Hansard reports and so on. Hansard Catalogue and breviary of parliamentary papers and so on. So that's something that's famous with people who are working on this, but it's nothing means nothing for me because it's totally new. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Now, okay, how come we are here? You can see that I come across so many different things, and Atlantic Legacies of Kingsley, Zephaniah, whatever it is, and Devolution, and then so many things. So again, I'm searching for a record that contains so many different topics. So yeah, this is mentioned in all of these texts. Let me call them texts, web pages, whatever resources. That's why they turn up here. So that's what your anywhere in the page means. Okay, so advanced search. That's what anywhere in the page means, and it includes the metadata and so on. So New Mexico, New Zealand, Christian Britain, death of Niall Ferguson is the same. Is this the same person? This site has been blocked by the network administrator. Connection initiated towards country Azerbaijan. Okay, as you can see, I'm not allowed to visit the website. So let's go back. The death of yes, Niall Ferguson, the West and the rest. That's why I was. I mean, that's why I asked if it's the same person. So the same person. Yes. So looks like you have particular topics that you may be interested in, and this is just an illustration of what you can find by. I I mean, the research project is, the topic is, the area is. Now, when I say incidental learning, I say it in a different sense, and this is what happened the other day. I said morphic, so polymorphic code, ism, and code. Okay, polymorphic code, something like that, and something other came up. So polymorphism in computer science is it's algebra and those things, and it's different from what I meant. Okay, so Java polymorphism, I don't know what those things are, but that is the idea. I have all the right in the world to use my own logic to come up with a word or words that I mean to signify something. That is the rationale here. But incidental learning, if you look at it, you'll find out that it has a particular. No, these are not. These are not. No, let's try this. Doing psychology experiments. Okay. Anyway, um, informal learning. What's informal learning, right? That's another one. Informal learning. Selective attention in children vulnerable to psychopathology. Okay, that's not that's a tangent I don't want to go on to. And so, reading for pleasure. Okay, that's where I mean, I don't have to subscribe to one particular viewpoint or another. And research evidence on reading for pleasure, that's something that you could have a look at. And this doesn't have to be children. This doesn't have to be children. Again, there are, I mean, there are people who don't want to read. They will want to do something else. So this is getting into the debates that I don't want to get into. And reading for pleasure, this is where you should look at, and that's the idea. So the question comes up, it doesn't have to be what the masses have to say. Okay, so that kind of thing. And let's not get into those things. But again, that's so that's different. And I was going through something, and there was this reading for pleasure somewhere, and I will share that. That's classroom. That's what I'm saying. This is something on a different tangent, and that is the point. Okay, site. So here, let me introduce, or let me bring back. So research, academic, maths, food, government, health, law, reference. Yeah. So let's say I wanted to use Computer science bibliography, Wikipedia, Google Scholar, Wolfram Alpha. So you have so many six, so many hundreds of resources you can search, right? That's for research. Thesis.fr, UCL library, student room. Anyway, point being, incidental learning of what? Incidental learning definition and so on. Incidental without explicit intention to learn or without instruction. So on the face of it, this is, I mean, I want to be very, very careful because this is getting into things that I don't want to talk about. And I've already, yeah, so let's look at this, for example. Some theorists believe. Now that's very good because you can always say, I never stated what proportion. So also called non-intentional learning. See also latent learning and compare intentional learning. So that's where it starts. What I'm saying is, you can find so many things when you're actually looking for something on the internet. And we started with death of Christian Britain, and I was looking at something very particular, and I landed up here. I do not want to be here. Yes. So as I was saying, I searched this, and I searched in Ferguson. Yes. So point being, you have resources that you want to save and that you can go through, and here is where I started. I don't want to continue talking about this any further, but as you can see, there are a lot of citations. I don't know what that number means relatively, right? So let's stop this here because again, that's getting into things that you may or may not be interested in. First of all, and let's see. I searched for this thing. I got these things, right? And you have to ensure that you don't as I've said, you have to ensure that if you're narrowing down on something, you set aside everything that you come across, everything that's not what you want. Funding in the UK over centuries, parliamentary debates. Funding, I'll change it to allocation of resources for XYZ in the UK or centuries parliamentary. I am gaining most from the word parliamentary. Okay, parliament, resources allocation, Hansard, public health. So how would I justify saying this kind of thing? Again, it's Hansard. Something related to Hansard is important here for sure. I don't know this thing, or I don't know much about these things, but that is the point. Yeah. So that's something that we learned today, right? Now, why am so? I'll give you what I studied. That was for something I wrote back in 2000 and so. So again, I'm not giving you any more information on that, but yes. So that's what I'm talking about. So when I talk about parliamentary debates, that's what I'm talking about, and it's a very that one was a very old one. Yes. So volume three. Turns out it's volume three. Yeah. So this is your takeaway, and you can see you can see that we ended up finding out something from the parliament, and something about Hansard Catalogue, and let's wrap it up. It's not much time that I'm left with, so I don't want to be talking about call for AI right now. Death of Christian Britain and Ferguson, decline and fall of the Christian Empire, death of Christian Britain, death of Christian Britain, death of Christian Britain reconsidered. Contemporary Church History Quarterly, 2010. Understanding Secularization and West and the Rest. Okay. The West and the Rest, reflections on our different the West and the Rest, Scruton. There are other names that I could come up with, but again, it can get into. mm, mm, I'll be more specific. Yeah, it is an ongoing thing, as you can see. I mean, let's have a look at this. Debated on Wednesday, 21 March 1928. So that's the kind of thing that you do when you actually try to find out stuff for your research. Okay, so that's it for now. That's it for now. Reading for pleasure. Reading for pleasure. What's that? OURFP. That's, I don't know what that is. Research evidence on reading for pleasure. Reading for pleasure committees. That's what you want to look at. That's what I wanted to show you, and that's why I was looking at those tabs back then. Reading for pleasure has been there for time immemorial. How people read in Dickens' time. So that kind of thing. Okay. Oral tradition journal. That's the idea. So there was one person in the family, and this person read it to the entire family, and it was a gathering. It was a family affair, and that's. I mean, Dickens is famous for having read his works in America and his America tours of America, to American tours, whatever, and so on. So Open University. I don't know what is involved. I would exercise a lot of caution, and I would recommend the same to you for any and every university that you come across, because it's changing HE landscape because of AI. Okay, higher education landscape because of AI. Okay, so you could go on talking about this, and with the whole thing coming online, it's changed. in ways unimagined, and so on. So how people read in Dickens' time? Reading together Dickens serialized novels, chronological and serialized Dickens reading project. Okay, that's in the 19th century. Yeah, interdisciplinary studies in long 19th century, and that's BBK. What is it? BBK is, it's one of the University of London universities. I'm sure what it is, but again, it is. So serialization of the 19th century, that is VT.edu. I don't know. Yeah, Virginia Tech. Okay. World literature today. That's a new thing that would be of use, because world literature gives you the chance to compare. So compare how something was um, looked at a given time, and how it was looked at in another place, and so on. So that is Asian Cha. I hope that is the pronunciation, but yes, you have an about page. That's a magazine. If it says masthead, it's definitely a magazine. America. Great. So that's a magazine, and I don't know how good or bad or what. I mean, it says awards and everything, accolades and so on. But yeah, oral tradition journal. That would be, again. This is the same person, and this was the, yes. So it's the same person writing these two things, and serial fiction part one. That's America again. Library of Congress. Bite size Boss reading Dickens in installments online. Yeah, I read it somewhere. Might be you will find it somewhere like Cambridge History of English Literature Dickens. Okay, you'll find it somewhere like that. So it doesn't have to be one of these. It doesn't have to be. Basically, you read from wherever you can read. That's all. That's all there is to it. Okay, it doesn't have to be this or that. And death of Christian Britain, Neil Ferguson, incidental learning, and not getting to psychology and any of that. And use of cookies, reading for pleasure. That would be this. These would be of use. Okay, so what happens is these things from universities inform these things in the parliament and so on. So that's something I would give you for a takeaway today. Okay, that's, yeah. This did not work with AI. I could rephrase it, and I could try to get the answer that I want, but digital humanities, and that's the kind of thing you're looking at. So some name.txt. Great. And for today, I think we should stop here. Let me just one moment. Give me one moment. Yeah, so I'll stop here, and we'll continue talking about these things in the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Stay tuned.